Hey, this is Stacy from the blog site whattheeverlovinghell.com. This video is going to be a little bit about why someone would join a cult. So on this channel I talk about, and on my blog I talk about cults, I talk about brainwashing, I talk about narcissistically abusive relationships and how to recover a little bit. I am not an expert on any of these things. It's just based on my experiences. So my experience with people who join cults, it's been presented by a great guy. He's got a YouTube channel here. He's got a podcast, Mark Vincente. I love listening to this guy. He suggests that one of the common features in someone's personality that might join a cult, if you could name any, is idealism. And I agree. I agree 100%. Myself, I have always been so idealistic, almost like a little airy-fairy idealistic. As a kid, having watched like a lot of musicals, all the classical musicals, I think when I was a kid, I honestly thought you could like sing and dance your way through life's crises. And even as a teenager, I thought I was just gonna fall in love, and I wanted to be a missionary and go save lives, you know. The end of the world was coming and I was going to save people. I mean, that's me, and I'm still that way. If I were 20 years older, I would have totally been a hippie. I'm a hippie now. It's like, peace, man, shine it on. Just peace, joy, love. So I totally agree. Idealism is a major factor, but I want to present that there's a second factor that's critical in my experience and in my opinion. And that is a sense of disillusionment. I saw this over and over and over again. I myself did not join a cult. I was 2 when my mother joined a cult. But over the years, because this cult was heavily into recruiting new members, I participated in a lot of trying to recruit people. And when new members would join, this is a theme I saw over and over again, is disillusionment. The person was disillusioned with something major in their life or in the world. So in my mother's case, she was badly abused as a child. And growing up then, she was just full of shame and pain. And she decided God doesn't exist. And who could blame her, right? Like, what loving God would allow what happened to her as a child to happen to her? But one day, she claims, she says, God, if you're there, if you're real, prove it to me. And who should show up the next day on her doorstep? But a couple of cult members telling her that all this wickedness in the world, God doesn't want this, he's going to bring an end to it all, and he's going to usher in a paradise, and you too can be a part of it if you just study the Bible with us. I saw it over and over again. I saw young man in college, his first year, away from home for the first time, living with thousands of strangers, in another state, away from his family. I think, if I remember correctly, because this happens frequently enough, he was probably pursuing the career his father wanted, taking the courses, majoring in what he was pressured to major in, going to college because we're all told you're supposed to go to college. And it just wasn't, his heart wasn't in it. And when he was presented with the opportunity to quit that and join this group whereby he could go out and save the world, that kind of thing, saw it over and over again. This disillusionment, I think, is critical. For myself, as I mentioned, I didn't join a cult, but I did, when coming out of the cult, basically go straight into another one, but this time it was just a cult of one. Right? I got into a narcissistically abusive relationship with a psychopath. What had happened was, I was 28. I was leaving my first marriage. I was beginning to conceptualize that I might be in a cult. In other words, everything I ever believed to be true wasn't true. And having the rug pulled out from under you like that is like, right? So here I am, thing that I thought was the truth, bought it hook, line, and sinker, never doubted it, is suddenly not true. And my marriage is ending. And I quit school at 14 just so I could go do their heavy recruitment work full time. So I had no education. Women in this cult aren't really supposed to go out and get a career. I mean, you can have a job or a part-time thing going on, full-time, I guess, if your family needs the money. But, really, you should be pursuing kingdom interests. So I was in a, for all intents and purposes, arranged marriage at 19 years old, married the guy my parents picked and said I was supposed to marry. So I wasn't in a loving relationship. And here I am at 28 with basically the skills, of mental and emotional skills of about a 16-year-old, massively naive because I grew up in such a contrived environment. The group I was in was a strict religious cult. So we didn't smoke, take drugs. We weren't supposed to drink. Many of us did, but we weren't supposed to get drunk. We didn't curse. I never even saw a rated R movie until I was much older because we weren't supposed to watch anything beyond PG-13. So it was a very contrived environment, not exposed to normal worldly stuff because we were very specifically not supposed to associate with worldly people. So we really only associated with ourselves. So here I am at 28, leaving a marriage, leaving the truth, super naive, not equipped, out into a world that's completely strange to me. I am majorly disillusioned. Here my little idealistic self is thinking all my dreams are going to come true, and just all manner of rugs pulled out from under my feet. And that's why the psychopath that I ended up marrying could get a hold of me. Idealistic, extremely disillusioned, leaves you majorly vulnerable to someone or a group of people pulling you into their values, their beliefs, their systems, their prescription of life, rather than your authentic own values. And so, just something to think about. If you are ever in a state where you kind of know that you're a little idealistic and you have been disillusioned by anything, whether it's a job loss or a divorce or just a move or a death or whatever it is, world conditions, whatever it is, take a slow, deep breath and check yourself before you get involved with something new and strange, even a relationship or a group. Okay, that's all I got for you today, guys. Till next time.